Hey, Tina O here on That Money Thing number 10. So I've actually trying to record this story twice. Once I was outside and I think I caught my address and I'm like, I just don't need that all over the internet. The other time the garbage truck came as I was recording it. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, universe, what's the deal? And then as I was doing the dishes, I thought, oh, because you're telling the story instead of I'm telling the details of the story instead of telling the story. So I had this aha moment. And that's what happens, right? When you take on a core story goal. My core story being that I matter, and as in the pain is that I often, underneath everything, I feel like I don't matter, which isn't all the time. That's just like the thing that dogs my trail, and it's showing up currently in my financial life, and not showing up in other areas because I've done all kinds of healing on it. But in this particular area, it's like it's coming out. So I was trying to figure out, my last video, I was telling you about how I was a $250,000 woman, so $250,000 woman living on 60 grand, which is not who I am, and it's not, it makes no sense, right? What is that? And how does that happen? And rather than go in the details of how that happened, because those are the details, and they could happen to anybody, but they didn't. They happened to me. So what's the me part, not the details part? So here's where it showed up. I know where it showed up. So I currently am in an industry where you can make a lot of, you can make gangsta money, as I call it. Maybe that's my judgment on it, but I don't know why any of us need to live on $250,000. Really? Do we need that? Or is that just really nice? A whole other conversation. Anyway, I'm working in that industry. And I was having a conversation with one of my uppity up mentors about differences of opinions and leadership styles, and not knowing what to do when you have a difference of leadership style. So I asked her, I'm like, you've been in this industry a couple of decades now, and surely you've come across this before. What happens when you realize that, wow, my values are different than the people that are training me, and I would make different choices, and I don't know what to do. How do I bridge that gap? And what she said to me was, oh, Tina, and she's kind, right? Loving, kind human being, totally different wiring than mine. And she looked at me and she said, oh, Tina, just do what so-and-so tells you to do. And it was like, it does not compute, right? I'm like, what? Maybe you're not understanding, because I'm thinking, we're friends. Well, I'm not friends, as in I wouldn't go over for Christmas dinner, but in the industry that I work in, we're all tight, I've been in your life for a little while now, and we're people to each other. I'm not a name on your computer. I'm a person. So, and me, so you didn't give me a me answer. You gave me a by rote answer, like a prescription. And I said, maybe to understand me, what do you do? And her response was, no, Tina, really, just do what you're told. And in that moment, I didn't actually hold it against her at all. I just had that moment, wow, you totally don't speak my language. We're having a conversation that we'll never speak each other's language. So I've just let it go. But now that I look back, that was the beginning of a domino, Allison, that's for you, domino thinking. That was like the first domino of, hey, I don't matter in here, because I got a prescriptive answer. I didn't get a personal answer. It doesn't have to be empathy, and it doesn't have to be, although that helps, and it doesn't have to be, pat me on the head and, that whole thing. It's just give me an answer that actually says that I matter, and not just the business system matters. And I took that further, and then because it really stuck with me. And then I took it and I asked a few other people that are mentors in my industry, or were mentors in my industry. And I got the same response, which was basically, you don't fit. I mean, that's not what they said, but, that's what happened. And that's not, I could paint that bad or wrong or poor leadership or whatever, but it doesn't really matter what my opinion about it is. They're just doing their thing and I'm doing my thing, and they're different things. But the message is, and I'm going here because I don't want you to get all hung up on who's right, who's wrong, filters of this and blah, blah, blah. This is not what this is about. This is about how my core story of I don't matter. I hit a fork in the road. Do I just do what I'm told to do? Or do I do the thing where I matter? And also the core pain of, look at this, I don't matter here. I don't matter here. And what I know to be true about me is that as soon as I come up against it, that's not true, not as soon as, when things go, it's like I'm like an elastic band. I have so much elasticity. Like because my core story is you matter. And that's what I give the world. So the elastic band stretches and stretches and stretches. And then when it's done, when I believe that I don't matter here, it's over. Like it's done. And unfortunately, that conversation was in my business, the business that was currently making $250,000. And then I didn't know what to do about it because I didn't actually know what I was dealing with. I didn't know. If I knew what I knew now, I would just let it go and change directions. It might have cost me a little bit, but it wouldn't have cost me what it cost me. Because instead I opted to live the core pain of I don't matter instead of live my core love, which is I do. So now I'm working through living the love that I do matter and cleaning up my financial life. And it's a great leadership lesson for me. Again, not right, not wrong, just recognizing, that what we say matters and what we tell ourselves matters. So I'm a $250,000 woman living on 60 grand, not for long. Because my core story is, the pain might be I don't matter, but the love is I do matter. And let's just see how that shows up. Okay, I'm Tina Overbury. Tina O. That money thing, shifting and changing. This is what happens when I decide that I matter. I start to look at the things when I made choices that didn't serve me. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. As always, thanks for listening.